Hello and welcome back once again. It's time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since and has been a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate today, here, right now with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm using this 365 Days book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up this book to today's date, November the 20th. We're going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And guess what? We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. That's right, so stay tuned, put on those notifications. Eventually, you'll learn how to tell time. You'll be like, hey, it's 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. It must be 5 o'clock wherever I am. Wherever you are. Indeed, thank you so much for keeping those comments coming. It's always a thrill to be able, if I'm able to catch the live chat premiere. Seeing your own live chat it still blows my mind, and I'm very happy to be part of it when I'm able to be part of that. And I'm just getting out of work at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. I could or could not be underground in the subway. I could or could not be still stuck at work, but hopefully, more than likely, maybe I'm at my favorite Irish pub about to have a plate of fish and chips or something, and I'm watching on on my iPhone and just hanging out with you. And it's great because this is about hanging out and having talks about comic books. The Golden Age runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age between 1956 and 1970. The Bronze Age between 1970 and 1985. And the Copper Age begins in I'm dropping. I told you this place was a mess. Part of your duties as executive producer is keeping the studio clean. It's Drinker's job. Drinker, what do you have to say for yourself? Fuck off, chores. Ugh, you're right. They're stuffed animals. It's for the bit. I get these standards of the ages from the glossary of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. Get yourself a copy. It's great. It's informative. I've got lots of comic books, and maybe I can give myself a mission to bag, board, and check out the condition and price all of my comic books. Maybe I should even be selling the old ones that I no longer want. You never know. I could be doing a BBC show next year, just going through my collection, reboarding, rebagging, and literally reevaluating my collection, streamlining it perhaps, and making room for more, because I will be buying new comic books especially from DC Comics in the coming year, 2023. Things look good on the horizon, so I'm willing to give it a chance as a lifelong comic book reader. I've literally been on a comic book hiatus since Heroes in Crisis, Tom King's magnum opus of superhero sacrifice. That's sarcasm. I was so turned off by that, and that it got green lit. It wasn't just the writer; it's got to be the editors and the publisher too. That I've taken a break for the past 4 years or so, and because social media is so polarizing, if you like the wrong person, you're adjacent to certain bigots and hate groups. I don't fall for that kind of reasoning, but all the same, I've been part of group blocks, especially by Marvel creators. I'm not going to spend my money with Marvel Comics. Not with the amount of creators that have blocked me on Twitter for the sheer fact that I'm following somebody else that they disapprove of. That's kind of scary in a way. But it also has given me the courage to block people as well. I do get it. That's their personal accounts, and they're not representing their contractors. Yeah, I get it. I get the minutiae of the argument. But the spirit is that, how am I supposed to want to spend my money with Marvel? Durr. I'm from South Boston. We say, we were saying for occasions, right, like now. Durr. Yeah, let's get to it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are the most important part of this show, this conversation. I'm serious. Thank you so much. I hope you continue to tune in, and we're going to just talk about comic books every day. You know, that's just what we do here, right? It's November the 20th. It's art by Fred Gardenier from World's Finest Comics number 17, spring of 1945. And we have Zatara, the master magician who says magic words backwards. And you'd probably remember his hotter daughter, Zatanna, with the fishnet stockings and hello. I'll be your bunny. You can saw me in half. If only if you put me back together again. Call me. Just think, how many times do you look for something right under your nose? Something you never notice until you bump smack into it. Certainly no one more sharp-eyed than Zatara, yet for once even that master of magic is fooled by the disarming treachery and deception of the thieves nobody saw. Bum, bum, bum. I'm digging this art. I like I like it. It's simple. It tells a lot. This is a splash page. This has got to be like the opening page of the story, setting you up for the rest of the tale. It looks like there's a store and someone's shoplifting, and there's like a lot going on in this, and it's definitely not the same person. And like in time dilated, this is definitely, those are all, it looks to be different people. You know this by if you played the memory game as a child. Like, this guy's wearing a tie, this guy's wearing a turtleneck, this guy's got a fedora, and this guy's got a scally cap. Things like that. So, it could be one person in super speed. You know what I mean? We saw Captain Marvel Jr. might have did that yesterday. But let's read the blurb. Unlike most of his colleagues at DC, Zatara, the master magician, dressed like a stage illusionist, practicing sleight of hand. Yet he had authentic supernatural powers and could make just about anything happen by issuing verbal commands in backwards English. I'm afraid if these magic words will come true if I read them. I'm also afraid of captchas on web pages for the same reason. We might unlock a demon. This could summon, it doesn't matter what your intention is. You summoned, you opened the box, we came. Hey, dude, Halloween was last month. Street tall, cab, onti, il calp. The funny talk may have been the idea of writer Gardner Fox, who went on to work the top-hatted hero just a few months after Zatara made his debut alongside Superman's in the first issue of Action Comics. That's interesting. Zatara made his first appearance in Action Comics, number 1. That's cool. Let's see. Piece into back, fall... What? Waters fall back into place. Is that what it says? Yeah. That's gee. Okay, no magic. No magic happened. Sounds like my love life. Indeed. Yeah. Zatara, the master magician. What do we got pulled up here? What do you got for show notes here, Pika? What are we doing today? How are we entertaining everyone that showed up today that wanted to hang out with you and your new video game? And, oh yeah. So yeah, let's get back into, okay, I got this last week. Our show is called The Golden Age DC Comics. So, the Golden Age has literally been going on for about 84 years now. And most of these characters are in their 70s now, as well. It was 84 years, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 08, 18. That's yeah. It's 8. Plus 84, yeah. This is 1938. Math is your friend. And so these characters are 8 decades old. Most of these characters here, these properties, these intellectual properties, these characters, this continuity, this story, the lore, the expectation. You mean we know who we should know who these characters are. And this is interesting. It's called The New Golden Age. It's by Geoff Johns, who's a darling when it comes to DC comic books. He's just got this encyclopedic knowledge. He's always written really good comic books. DC superhero comic books for the past 20 years. Big fan. And I'm glad that he's getting back into writing DC comics again. This is probably his, it's like what they say about Captain Kirk. That's his best fate is to be the captain of the Enterprise, And I think Geoff Johns is the Captain Kirk of DC Comics. Like, what are the job would you want to be? Would you want to be an admiral at Starfleet headquarters behind a desk, Jim? Or do you want to be out there in the final frontier? I'm a Star Trek fan. Come on. Seriously, that's enough metaphor, man. Just shit. Geoff Johns is the Jim Kirk of DC Comics. I stand by that. This is pretty cute. So this is this just came out 2 weeks ago. And it's dovetailing new stories into the past. We call this retcon, retroactive continuity. We've covered this a bunch of times. If you're a comic books fan, you know what it is. And sometimes it's good, and a lot of the times it's bad. Yet it's very necessary. We need to be able to tell new stories with old characters going forward. And this is the result of that. So we have something such as The Boom. This is a brand new character. I mean, and this is Jay Garrick's daughter. Jay Garrick never had a daughter before in the continuity. Oh, and just look at these pages in the back. They look just like the 1980s DC's Who's Who pages. I love that. This is definitely nostalgia bait. So for someone like me of my age, like John Henry Jr., that's great. The Golden Age Red Lantern. Now, like, color me interested. Now, this is fun. This is Geoff Johns using one of his IPs, his creations, the Red Lantern and the emotional spectrum. So there could be, there would not be a Golden Age Blue Lantern because Ganthet made the Blue Lantern after the events of Infinite Crisis, I believe. We got Mr. Miracle. I mean, like, Salem the Witch Girl. Quiz Kid. These are sidekicks. This is supposed to be the forgotten sidekicks of these Golden Age heroes. So there's like these 13 forgotten. They were like pulled out of the timeline and forgotten about. And it looks like, it's per Degaton. I mean, there's like this evil looking redhead guy in the background. And it's just like, hello. It's like, if you know your JSA, and this jumps around time. So it goes to 1940 to this Golden Age of DC Comics that we talk about. This Golden Age of DC Comics is Earth 2 in the old DC multiverse. It still is Earth 2. I believe there's an Earth 2 out there. And but most of these heroes have been dovetailed into the Earth Zero, the Earth, the new Earth, the Earth of the continuity where the stories emanate from, and in perpetuation and canon and continuity, these old characters are put into a place where they're useful and they interact with the people they've inspired, and yeah, this is a really interesting comic book, and it's setting up Helena Wayne, the Earth 2 daughter of Batman and Catwoman, the original Huntress. Yeah, I mean, and this is nostalgia. Yes, this is nostalgia bait, huge, and I'm in for it. I like it. This is how I want to enjoy these superhero funny books, and this is made for me. This is made for me. So I bought something else. It's events of that spin into Stargirl. This is a limited series, one of 6, by Geoff Johns and art by Todd Knock. Awesome. You know what I mean? My hope is that Speedy, the original Speedy, Roy Harper, is involved with this somehow. Maybe they can dovetail his golden age memories into his current body, who has been died and reborn a few times. So this, having him being golden age Speedy dies in Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1986, along with golden age Green Arrow. And it was just redundant. And there was a Speedy in the Bronze Age. There was a Teen Titan. He was a Teen Titan, and he eventually becomes Arrow. He becomes Arsenal, and then the first Red Arrow. But yeah, this is from last week. This is a brand new comic book, and so those are the lost children. These are the lost golden age sidekicks. It looks like the Newsboy Legion's in there too, and this is there's Robot. There's Robot Man's dog. We covered him too, and there's Mary, the girl of 1,000 gimmicks, is in here. Yeah, isn't that cool? So yeah, I mean, there's a new golden age. So if you've been watching this show all year, I mean, there's a new comic book out there just for you. If you like this kind of content, you feel like, hey, I'm gonna get every Easter egg that's in every panel because we've been having this conversation all year long. This is great. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Thank you so very much for tuning in. You are the most important part of this show, this conversation. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make regular content. I do a lot about cooking on this show. I'm a professional chef, but also I do a lot about comic books too. And I make daily content about comic books because we literally can talk about comic books every day. And so keep tuning in, and we'll keep hanging out. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Cheers. Bye-bye.